I was watching a video earlier this morning that was discussing how the bubble is going to burst on the trades within the next few years. Now, to give a little context, I think a lot of us remember many years ago when there was a big push towards sending everybody to college. If you didn't have a college degree, you would amount to nothing. And then guys like Mike Rowe came along saying, wait a minute, the trades have some viable career paths and there's good money to be made. And then we started seeing a shift. Today, you see a lot of people foregoing college to pursue a career in the trades. So the video started kind of hinting at the idea that eventually supply is going to outpace demand. There's going to be too many people, not enough jobs. But I see a different problem developing that I think will prevent that from ever happening. And it's a much bigger problem. These days, the way things are heading, if you want a good, prosperous career in the trades, especially in one like HVAC, you need to be tough and you need to be smart. So, for example, if you were to look at the basic refrigeration cycle of an air conditioning system, that's a lesson in thermodynamics. And with the advanced technology that's being used today, you have computer logic that's micromanaging that thermodynamic process. So as a technician, you have to be able to understand control logic, testing electrical circuitry, understanding the variables in thermodynamics that are being micromanaged by this control logic, which basically takes some brain power. Now, I'm not saying an HVAC technician is just as smart as a physicist, but what I am saying is that if you have the ability to understand control logic and thermodynamics, you could probably go to college and pursue a STEM career. Now, I know a lot of good HVAC technicians actually did go to college. I went to college myself for computer programming, and many of us probably could have pursued some other career. But for our own personal reasons, we chose the trades. Now, imagine going to a university, rounding up 100 STEM students from a study hall, sticking them in a 120-degree attic for $18 an hour at an 8-hour shift, and seeing how many come back tomorrow for more. I think that's where the trades are heading. And I don't know if better pay is going to fix that kind of a problem. And if the real choice eventually just boils down to, I like working with my hands, I don't think that's going to be enough to sustain an economy. But there's more layers to this and it makes it even worse. For all the people that do have the grit and the brains to meet this growing challenge, you got time grinding you down. It's very easy to be strong when you're 25. It's very easy to be smart when you're 55. It's very hard to be both at every age throughout an entire 40-year career. I know some days I wake up hurting. I haven't even done anything yet. And I think anybody else in the trades that to be really good at what you do could probably testify that it seems like the more you know, the harder you work because there's just not enough people on the roster to go to. Then if the trades get to the point where they have to start recruiting people who can just as easily become a software engineer, that roster is going to start getting a lot shorter. Now, there's always going to be plenty of jobs for everybody in the field, regardless of skill level. But this idea of coming into the trades and making really good money is going to require a special kind of person who has a lot of options. So what's going to be that great attractor? What's going to set the trades apart from any other college career? What's going to make the dirt, the sweat, the blood, the tears worth it? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the trades got a bigger problem coming.